Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 219 based on novel. So let's start. Sacred Land, the pathways outside Luo Feng's training quarters were completely filled with large amounts of gold horn race clansmen sitting cross-legged. And right at the main entrance sat the purple-armored black-skinned youth Bei Chiu. He sat there cross-legged with his eyes closed. A beam of light shot out of the quarters and swiftly flew away. They are flying away. The human Luo Feng is amongst them. They actually just flew away? Over 10,000 gold horn race clansmen all began to stir, getting up together and gazing at the distant skies. There the beam of light had disappeared into the distance, they all began to get enraged. Bei Chiu opened his eyes and looked on coldly at the scene, his eyes almost burning with flames. He muttered softly to himself, "Human Luo Feng, you coward rumble." He became a beam of light and headed towards the Doren Palace. His brother and those with them followed. When Luo Feng was stirring waves on Laos world amongst the Gold Horn race group, in a distant desolate region within the universe country, within a black silent space, without any stars or planets, only the occasional space debris, there was a layer of space that sat within. In this vast majestic god country, an endless gold continent rose, in a grass patch and forest, there lived many humans with many technologically advanced constructs. Amongst them, hundreds of billions of humans were scattered throughout the cities. Within every city there was a godlike statue. Countless people came to worship this god. The part where humans lived was but a small portion of this entire god country. Over 30 million kilometers away from their living regions, within an extremely tall mountain that reached over 1 million kilometers, there was a shrine at the very peak, gleaming gold. The shrine itself was over 100,000 kilometers tall, and there were many silhouettes within the shrine. Howl! Many huge bug soldiers in all shapes and sizes walked within the shrine. One could even occasionally see gold bug soldiers, undying bugs. Other than these, there were many humans in white robes, gold robes and armor. They often crossed paths but seemed like it was nothing. In the highest level of the shrine, a bug clan mother nest over 10 kilometers tall sat in the center. It was surrounded by a large amount of gold bug soldiers. With a glance, there were more than 10,000. Master, 3 gold-robed humans were surrounded by large amounts of the soldiers. They however immediately bowed respectfully. "Why have you called me?" A gentle voice, almost like that of an absolute beauty speaking, resounded throughout the hall. "Master," the leading gold-robed man said respectfully. "An undying stationed within the Gold Horn race's Laos world has sent some news. The human Luo Feng is currently in the sacred city of Laos world." "Number 9? A gentle voice answered. "Yes," the leading gold-robed man said, "and another thing, number 9 Luo Feng's strength improvement is very shocking. He publicly defeated a domain lord level 9 genius of the Gold Horn race Bei Chiu. That Bei Chiu had law comprehension levels akin to the human's passing of the 9th level of the Heavenly Bridge. And Luo Feng barely had the ability to pass the 8th during the first qualification battles." "Is there footage?" the gentle voice asked. "That battle was public, there's plenty. The Undying has sent over a footage along with his message." The man pointed into the air and immediately a projection appeared that replayed Luo Feng's entire battle with Bei Chiu. The entire footage, Bei Chiu was subduing Luo Feng. Finally, Luo Feng unleashed his attack on Bei Chiu and defeated him. After finishing the footage, Human Virtual Universe Company, universe-level geniuses, there's only one that reached the 8th level of the Heavenly Bridge. The gold-robed man said. And Luo Feng, in these short decades, his origin law comprehension has already surpassed the strongest universe-level genius. According to these speeds, in the qualification battles of the domain lords a few hundred years from now, he would probably be able to remain in the primal region. His improvement speed is too shocking. In the history of humanity, only the most exceptional from over trillions of eras would there occasionally be such an absolute genius. A gentle voice ordered, "Raise his grade, make him number 3, the other targets will move back." "Yes." The gold-robed man complied. "Also order the Undyings on Laos world, get one of them to make a move." The gentle voice said. "If he can kill Luo Feng, sacrificing one normal Undying doll is nothing. However, the number of our bug clan hidden in Laos world is simply too few. We can at most reveal one Undying, we cannot sacrifice more. If he cannot succeed, we just have to wait patiently." "Yes," the gold-robed man said respectfully. "I'll immediately give the order to the Gunwu Universe Countries Department members, and to the Gold Horn race members. Go." The gentle voice said. 3 gold-robed warriors bowed simultaneously and left. In the side regions of the Ganwu Universe Country, Universe Secret Regions Laos World. Sacred City. Within a quiet living quarters. Kill Luo Feng, regardless of cost? A gold horn race undying in stone grey armor sat there, muttering to himself, regardless of cost, his eyes suddenly opened and his blood-red eyes gazed coldly ahead. Luo Feng? The gold horn race undying muttered softly. Elder. A gold horn race youth rushed in from outside, shouting, we just received news that the human genius Luo Feng has ignored Bei Chio's challenge and has flowed straight from his living quarters to the Doren Palace. That Luo Feng is seriously a coward, he's so afraid that he won't even battle Bei Chio. The gold horn race youth gritted his teeth. The stone-grey armored man ordered solemnly, you can leave. Yes, Elder. The gold horn race youth replied respectfully. Doren Palace? The stone-grey armored man became a blur and flew out swiftly, heading straight to the Doren Palace. The human territories were vast. Bug Clan and humans, the 2 pinnacle races of the universe, had battled for over trillions of years. The Bug Clan had long hidden many agents within the universe countries. The Bug Clan's sole invasion and control ability was simply too terrifying, even human undyings were unable to escape its control. In contrast, with the entire Gold Horn race gathered within Laos World, the Bug Clan would hardly ever get a chance to invade them. Only when some powerful Gold Horn race warriors help in the human wars would they occasionally get a chance to swiftly invade the souls of the Gold Horn race warriors and let them bring them back into Laos World. That way, they would have pawned safely hidden within. Laos World was vast, and with too few bug agents within, their communication reports weren't up to date. Only after Luo Feng had created such an uproar in the sacred city did it attract the attention of one of the pawns, finally confirming Luo Feng's incidents. Their efficiency was extremely low. Luo Feng and the group finally landed at the foot of the Doren Palace mountain range, after which the group headed towards the palace. At this time, Luo Feng didn't even think about the fact that there would be other races hidden within the Golden Horn race's secret region, hiding to ambush him. This was after all the Gold Horn race's survival area, which even many undyings from humanity didn't know about it. Many undying humans didn't even know of the fact that the Gold Horn race was a subservient race to humanity. If even very few humans knew this, then it would definitely be extremely hard for other races to invade them. Even so, Luo Feng was still very cautious. After all, he was now a supervisor envoy outside. It was actually very common for other races to assassinate geniuses. This was also why he didn't want to expose his strength too much. Defeating Bei Chuang had already gained the attention of the other races. The moment he defeated Bei Chio, the other races would probably risk it all to kill him. Elder Sai Fan Chi. Luo Feng said, help me request, only if the Doyen agrees to meet me will I enter. Okay. Elder Sai Fan Chi easily entered the Doyen Palace. Luo Feng and the group stood outside as the guards all looked on curiously at Luo Feng and his group. Obviously very few had actually seen a human before. Your Majesty Luo Feng, the Doyen has agreed to see you, enter. The elder's voice resounded in Luo Feng's ears. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed, ordering, everybody else stay here, Dylan follow me. Luo Feng brought Dylan and walked through the entrance. All the guards seemed to have received their orders, hence none of them stopped these two. Laos World's temperature is extremely low, the Doyen Palace is even colder. Luo Feng felt like he was walking within the icy cold Demon Note Mountain. Beside them, the palace guards and staff, along with some disciples could be seen. After a while, they arrived in a quiet hall. None of the staff, disciples and guards dared go near this hall. At the entrance stood 2 undyings, 1 man and a lady. Human Luo Feng, the Doyen is within. The undying man said. Luo Feng nodded and brought Dylan through to the door, entering the hall. The moment he entered, it was almost like stepping into another space. The outside was completely cut off, leaving only this extremely cold large hall. 10 undyings stood within the hall, all respectful, and above them all sat a Doyen dressed in a star robe that revealed his chest. Sitting there, the space and time had him as the center. His gaze, held within immense endless power, it made others submit immediately. Human Luo Feng greets Gold Horn race Doyen. Luo Feng took a deep bow to express his respect. Dylan did so beside him too. To a universe knight, such a great being, respect was a given. High in the large hall throne, an old man gazed down at Luo Feng, smiling, it's been a long time since I've seen a young human. Your youthfulness is shocking. I cannot believe that you've defeated that child Bei Chuang. Doyen, I did it with great difficulty, Luo Feng said respectfully. He was shocked within. His teacher Tru Yang had once told him that some of the absolute beings of the universe could see how long one had lived just from a glance. Even the eternal beings, those great beings, could still see how long they've lived just from a glance. This Doyen had probably seen that he had only lived for about 300 years. Indeed, a Doyen stationed in Sacred City is this powerful. Luo Feng was shocked. The Gold Horn race has many Doyens. Those that are able to be stationed here must be extremely powerful. Have you studied the sacred tablet? The Doyen gazed down and smiled, asking, almost like he was asking his own disciple. Yes, its benefits were huge. Thank you for giving me the chance, Luo Feng said respectfully. A carefree laughter resounded within the hall. The Doyen smiled. Little punk, from what I understand, you walk the same path as our great leader 11 Luo Duo, spirit reader and a combination of gold and space laws. The sacred tablet would indeed have great benefits for you. Luo Feng bowed, obediently listening to the Doyen's words. Do you wish to study it again? He looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng was embarrassed. The sacred tablet has great benefits for my law comprehension. Saying I don't wish to do so would be a lie. Ha ha, I'll give you another chance, little punk. If you can unleash the Nanshan armament's 9th level before you reach Undying, you'll have another chance to study it. The Doyen smiled, and if you successfully break through to Undying, you'll get another chance. The time will be the same as this time. Luo Feng was stunned. Whether you can go study it again depends on your ability. The Doyen smiled. Thank you, Doyen. Luo Feng thanked him respectfully. Ha ha, the elder laughed carefree. These two chances have their own requirements. If your talent and abilities are insufficient, entering the sacred tablet tower would be a disgrace to 11 Luo Duo. Luo Feng was shocked within. This Gold Horn race Doyen, stationed within the Doren Palace, was a powerful universe Knight level being. Yet, he was extremely friendly to him, giving him a chance to study right up front and even giving him a free chance to pick any manual. Right, this Doyen, he probably saw that I defeated Bei Chuang, hence he noticed me more. Luo Feng understood immediately. He initially gave me the chance to study the tablet and pick a free manual. However, the 2 extra chances he's giving me, even though they have their requirements, however, if I cannot reach these requirements, he probably wouldn't even be bothered with me. The Doyen were the highest group of beings in the Gold Horn race. Even Emperor-level Undyings, these Doyens wouldn't be bothered. Human geniuses were the same. However, Luo Feng and Bei Chuang's battle had resulted in Luo Feng's detailed information being passed on to this Doyen. He swiftly determined that Luo Feng's ability was shocking, hence he was so friendly. The timing of one's attitude meant everything. Luo Feng was only a small being now. For the Doyen to be so courteous, Luo Feng would naturally be grateful. If Luo Feng were to become an absolute being in humanity in the future, it would be much harder for him to make Luo Feng feel grateful then. After ending his greeting of the Doyen, Luo Feng, Sai Fan Chi and Dylan left the Great Hall. The other Undyings all stepped out with them. Human Luo Feng. A voice resounded. Luo Feng turned to look. The one speaking was a man in a loose robe. His appearance was similar to that of the Doyen before. And you are? Luo Feng looked at this person. Your Majesty Luo Feng, this is the official level Undying 2Ka Luo. Elder Sai Fan Chi smiled beside and introduced. Elder 2Ka Luo is the Doyen's son, and the only one amongst his sons to become an Undying. Ah? Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. 2Ka Luo said indifferently, Human Luo Feng, the Bei Chuang you defeated, along with his brother Bei Chiu, they are both my disciples. Luo Feng was stunned. The Bei Ji brothers' teacher, I have nothing to say about you defeating Bei Chuang, I can only compliment you. 2Ka Luo looked disdainfully at Luo Feng. However, my disciple Bei Chiu has challenged you. Yet, why have you not accepted it? He's been sitting outside your living quarters for 3 months without any answer. Even if you reject him, you have to show some respect to our Gold Horn race. Luo Feng smiled. Elder 2Ka Luo, so you are the Bei Ji brothers' teacher. Honestly, it was already very difficult for me to defeat Bei Chuang. I heard from Elder Sai Fan Chi that Bei Chiu was more than 10 times stronger than his brother. I have no confidence at all. Naturally, I wouldn't accept the challenge and lose outright. So you admit defeat? 2Ka Luo seemed stunned. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. Right, I'm currently no match at all for Bei Chiu. I can only go train and get stronger before accepting his challenge. As for my actions, it's mostly because I've been scared away by the huge group of youths constantly challenging me. I hope you can understand. 2Ka Luo stared wide-eyed at Luo Feng. He was the only one amongst the Doyen's sons to reach undying. Over a long period of time, all of the Doyen's family had already passed on, leaving only him. Even though he was only an official level undying, due to his special status, his position was very high. The incident with the Beiji brothers had made him very dissatisfied with Luo Feng. However, he didn't dare make a scene before his father. Now that they were out of the hall, however, he wanted to pick a bone with Luo Feng. However, Luo Feng admitted defeat. He simply gave up, admitting he wasn't a match for Beiqiu. What could he do, you? 2Ka Luo blinked a couple of times. When I'm stronger and I have the confidence, I will definitely challenge Beiqiu when I come here. As for now, I'm seriously too weak. Luo Feng bowed. Elder 2Ka Luo, if there are no other matters, I'll leave first. 2Ka Luo could only nod. Luo Feng brought Dylan and Sai Fan Chi and left. This? 2Ka Luo stood there for a while, speechless. Luo Feng walked within the Doren Palace and bumped into the Beiji brothers who had returned to the palace. Human Luo Feng, please accept my challenge. Beiqiu stood before Luo Feng. I have matters to attend to, please make way. Luo Feng said. Beside him, Dylan released his undying energy. That powerful force immediately brushed aside Beiqiu like sweeping. Luo Feng, Dylan and Sai Fan Chi swiftly left after. You? Beiqiu was so angry he gritted his teeth. Luo Feng walked through the winding paths of the palace, thinking within, now that I've studied the tablet and acquired the Nanshan 36 levels, it's time to leave. At most I'll pay a visit to the Pagoda tribe and return to the Milky Way after. Later on, I'll have to exchange points for the 10,000 soul control, but it's extremely expensive. However, in order to control the mother nest, it's worth it. I'll train on Earth for a while, and after I completely control the mother nest, I'll head over to Primal Chaos City. There I'll train for a while. I have quite a few chances to study the 9-universe tablet that I can use. Virtual Universe Company core members all had the privilege of entering Primal Chaos City. When they first join at universe level, they had a free 30-year chance. That was Luo Feng's first time. At Domain Lord level, they had another free chance to study there for 300 years. At Sector Lord level, they had another free 3,000-year chance. These were all given. A privilege for the core disciples. Also, when they enter Primal Chaos City, even though at Domain Lord level they are given 300 years free, Luo Feng could totally train for 500 years or even 1,000 years. The only price was the excess time required points. The longer they stayed there, the more points it required. If one had enough points, it was possible to stay in Primal Chaos City for hundreds of thousands of years. The moment their points were finished, Primal Chaos City would force Luo Feng to leave. Luo Feng thought about his future as he left the Doren Palace with Dylan and Elder Sai Fan Chi. Your Majesty. The 5 sector lords and Kashna welcomed him. Let's go. Luo Feng ordered. Your Majesty, human Luo Feng. Your Majesty, human Luo Feng. A very passionate voice resounded. Luo Feng looked up. In the distance a blur silhouette swiftly flew over, condensing about 10 m away from Luo Feng. It was a stone-grey armored man. His eyes seemed like red jewels. They looked at Luo Feng and smiled. I'm called Kebu. Kebu. Elder Sai Fan Chi shouted, shocked. Elder Sai Fan Chi. The stone-grey armored man bowed slightly to express his respect. Luo Feng looked curiously at the elder. The elder smiled. Your Majesty Luo Feng, this is the elder Kebu. He's an undying from the Tuoyang tribe. He's participated in the wars with humans several times. He has quite a few human friends. Ah? Luo Feng looked at the undying Kebu. When I was in Sacred City, I heard about your Majesty's events. I didn't dare disturb you all this while. Now that you are about to leave, I decided to come send you off. The stone-armored man smiled. It's truly a happy occasion for me to see a human in my hometown. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. Where have your Majesty gone in Laos world? The stone-armored man smiled. Just Sacred City, the Pagoda tribe too. Luo Feng replied. Elder Kebu said, Your Majesty Luo Feng, the home of the Gold Horn race, Laos world, has an incredibly ancient history with many mysterious places that may have benefits to your training. Have you never gone to those places? Which special spots are there? Luo Feng asked without too much interest. As Laos world was a constructed vast continent and not truly a naturally formed entity from the universe, even if there were any treasures left behind by any warrior of the Gold Horn race, it would have long been swept up. Elder Kebu realized that Luo Feng didn't have any interest. He couldn't help but be shocked within. My master told me to risk it all to kill this Luo Feng. However, beside him he has a human undying guard and Sai Fan Chi. Their powers far exceed mine, and as long as they are here, I have no hopes of killing him. If I cannot make him stay here in Laos world, I would probably never have a chance. After one soul is invaded, they become completely loyal to their owners. The master's command was the most important. They wouldn't even care about sacrificing their lives. Our Gold Horn race has a rule that the moment one reaches universe level, they have to leave their tribe and train outside. Elder Kebu said. Hence, in the wastelands of Laos world, there are a few shrines built by Undyings that would absorb the exceptional youths outside. Our Gold Horn race encourages a few powerful beings to head to these shrines and thus make the youths all excited to actually leave their tribes and train. Luo Feng laughed. Over an extremely long time, some great beings leave behind things when they fall. We elders naturally won't go and purposely search for these treasures. Kebu laughed. As for the other Undyings, it's completely impossible for them to search the entire Laos world, thus creating many miraculous places. Also, in order to raise the strength of our Gold Horn race Undying and normal people, we've built a few sacred land-like places. The sacred tablet is after all only for gold and space warriors. The other warriors that comprehend other laws have their own special places. Luo Feng shook his head. I have no interest. There's one place that would be a waste if your majesty doesn't visit. Kebu's wrist quantum computer suddenly shot out a projection in mid-air. On it was a simple picture. Here, this is a place where human warriors definitely have to go when they visit. Luo Feng, who had been very casual all this while, blinked at the picture. His heart shuddered as his eyes gleamed. He stared hard at the image on the picture. How can this? Huge waves erupted within Luo Feng's mind. The image on the picture was a huge statue in the canyon of a mountain. The entire statue was a huge lizard-like beast with a single horn. That formless pressure made everyone shudder within. That's it, Beast God, it's a statue of the Beast God. Luo Feng stared hard at the picture. A few miraculous encounters on Blood River continent had made Luo Feng aware of an incredibly ancient era, back when the absolute powers of the virtual universe company had clashed with a terrifying beast god of Blood River continent over and over. Even though he hadn't personally seen the beast god, he could still feel its terrifying power. It far exceeded the golden horned beast and the Huisuo beast. Elder Kebu noticed Luo Feng's expression and immediately smiled. This is an incredibly special place in our Gold Horn home. It's also where the great warriors of humanity would almost all go. Beast God Canyon, Beast God Canyon. Luo Feng looked at Elder Kebu. The Gold Horn race called this statue the Beast God too. Our race's greatest being Doren 11 Luo Duo had once said that his studies all came from the comprehension gained from this statue. The elder exclaimed. Back then, he even said that as long as anybody can comprehend this huge Beast God statue, then that person's power would raise similar to his own. Luo Feng shuddered. Power similar to 11 Luo Duo's level? 11 Luo Duo, that was the greatest leader of the entire Gold Horn race. He single-handedly established the entire race. How powerful was he? And because Doren 11 Luo Duo said that. Kebu sighed. Over the trillions of years, countless people of our race have gone to study the statue. However, none have discovered any mysteries. Even the Doyens, I've never heard of any that have comprehended this statue. Even the great beings of humanity, those that come here all specially come to study the statue, wanting to comprehend it and have power as strong as 11 Luo Duo. However, I haven't heard of any that have comprehended it. Of course, there may have been some among humanity that have comprehended it without announcing it. Luo Feng was stunned. So, the greatest leader of the Gold Horn race 11 Luo Duo, he got his power from comprehension of the Beast God statue. Elder Sai Fan Chi, is there such a thing? Luo Feng looked at the elder beside. Sai Fan Chi nodded, smiling as he shook his head. However, over countless years, other than the great 11 Luo Duo, there hasn't been anyone else who has comprehended the statue. Even I, looking at it, I feel as though it's a normal statue, and there is nothing special about its structure. I cannot understand it at all. There's even been a Doyen that made a suggestion to slice open the statue to see if there's anything special hidden within. Of course, out of respect for 11 Luo Duo, and belief in his words, they forbade such an action. However, no one could make anything of it. Sai Fan Chi shook his head. Luo Feng was shocked. Sai Fan Chi was an emperor-level Undying, a powerful being who was able to teleport. If placed in the Gunwu Universe country, probably only the Gunwu Universe country leader would be stronger than him. For such a being, even he couldn't make anything of the statue. Bring me there, Luo Feng said immediately. The Yunmo planet ship left the sacred city and headed towards Beast God Canyon. Your Majesty, for you to bring me along to Beast God Canyon, thanks. Within the control room, the stone-grey armored elder Kebu said. It's nothing. Luo Feng looked at the vast land outside. You wanted to go visit a friend there too, right? It's convenient, we can just go together. After which Luo Feng turned and returned to his resting chambers. Dylan stayed in a room right beside Luo Feng's to protect him. Right now there's no chance at all. This Dylan keeps following him, and his undying energy is wrapped around Luo Feng all the time as a warning device. Kebu looked at Dylan's back, thinking within. However, there's no rush. After we reach Beast God Canyon, the strong there are numerous as the clouds, there'll be a chance. The canyon wasn't too far from the sacred city. After flying in the Yunmo planet ship for close to a month, they reached their destination. In the air along the continuous mountain range, a blood-colored triangular ship slowed down swiftly and floated there. The cabin door opened. Luo Feng brought Dylan and the group out of the ship and kept the ship within his internal world. Your Majesty, Luo Feng. Elder Sai Fan-Chi pointed into the distance. That is Beast God Canyon. The Beast God statue is there. Luo Feng looked over, faintly making the blurred silhouette within the canyon. Let's go. Luo Feng ordered. They instantly flew over tens of thousands of kilometers. Luo Feng and the group floated above the canyon. So many Gold Horn race clansmen. Luo Feng looked at the clansmen all training along the caves of the canyon. There were even more in the vast land below them. Hence, he couldn't help but be shocked. As 11 Luo Duo had said before, as long as one can comprehend this statue, they would have powers as strong as his. Hence countless of our warriors gather here. Kebu pointed below and smiled. Look, that 3,000 kilometers tall shrine is a Doren shrine. It's specially built here to protect the statue. Luo Feng could see the majestic shrine below. However, compared to the Beast God statue, the shrine looked ordinary. The huge Beast God statue there laying like it's in sleeping form, its entire body length with its tail is about 10,000 kilometers. Kebu explained. Luo Feng swiftly descended and flew towards the statue. He landed on the ground and looked up at the enormous Beast God statue. He had acquired a Beast God statue on Blood River World before. However, that was much smaller. Also, his own statue was one of the Beast God standing on all four legs and raising its horn upwards and howling. This one, however, was about 10,000 kilometers and depicted the Beast God laid out, closing its eyes and sleeping. Every scale was incredibly clear. What terrifying pressure! It's simply a lifeless statue, yet it makes me feel like I'm facing that ancient pressure. Luo Feng looked at the sleeping Beast God statue and held his breath. Your Majesty, not even the Undyings or Doyens have managed to study and comprehend any of the wonders of this statue. Elder Sai Fan-Chi sighed as he landed beside. No one can understand it. I don't understand it too. Luo Feng frowned and said softly. Right. He couldn't see through it at all. The little statue that he got, the golden horned beast, could study its tearing sky claw and he could feel the god within. With the mysterious energy emanating and the image of the Beast God itself, it allowed the golden horned beast to keep improving and reaching breakthroughs. This majestic huge Beast God statue, however, Luo Feng was very clear that they were both Beast Gods. Other than the terrifying pressure, he couldn't feel anything else. There must be some secrets that 11 Luo Duo wouldn't casually leave behind this statue and fool his clansmen for trillions of years. Luo Feng stared up at the statue. I'll compare it with my little statue and see what's the difference between them. I'll start from every single scale. At this time, it wasn't just Luo Feng, not just the Gold Horn clansmen, there were other absolute human warriors about, trying hard to understand this huge statue before them. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.